What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Honest Hobo. I am the Honest Hobo. And like we always do, the way we started off, we're going to crack us a cold one. Yep. If you got one, drink it with me. Today, I came across this little tidbit. And I don't know what you think about it, what you don't think about it. But it's about pro-choice, abortion. So I kind of like put something together so y'all can kind of like just watch. I'm gonna try not to talk too much over it, but you know, sometimes you get too much drinking in you, and you just don't know when to shut up. So I'm gonna let you watch this, and like I said, I'm gonna try not to say too much in it, and y'all let me know what you think. Alright, let's check this out.
I believe you guys are pro-choice. Is that correct? Or like?
Yeah, I would
Yes.
say that's probably right. Yeah.
Yes, we are.
Guys?
Yeah, I feel like it's a basic human right that nobody gets to use your body without your consent.
I agree with that.
If you can kill this motherfucker.
Where the born baby needs to breastfeed, like, would you guys
Yeah,
do
that's
that?
not a bodily violation. So first of all, there's a couple things. Number one is if I birth the child and keep it, I have agreed to what is a social legal contract for parenthood. That makes me a caregiver, just like a caregiver for somebody, for example, that is maybe disabled in a way that needs assistance, right, that I would assist with.
I see. Okay, so you're already consenting to it, pretty much.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, by the time you birth the child,
you-
even after you birth it, theoretically, like I said, there are some problems. In the last call, we talked about how there are some problems with opting out of parenthood, right? So, for example, we do not have a system where one parent can opt out.
And ladies, to be fair to us, I also believe if you decide to have the baby, the man should not have to pay.
So in our situation, and I understand there are all kinds of problems with that, right? So there are situations where maybe
It's my money, my choice.
one parent did opt out and didn't inform the other parent.
Now, see, this is where this argument is starting to get twisted. Because if the guy doesn't want to be a father and he wants to not do anything, everyone's going to come at them and say, well, you knew what you was doing. You should have kept your pants. You should have kept your little, in your pants. And you never should have got her pregnant. All right? Okay, cool. Right? But if a guy makes a decision and he messes up, he has to be responsible. But what she's saying is, she doesn't have to be. Well, they're going to get to that. Like I said, I'm gonna try not to talk so much.
If you can kill this motherfucker.
So there's things that go wrong even with that. But the legal theory is that if one parent wants the baby, the other parent doesn't, we don't let them opt out
If you can kill this motherfucker.
as a single unit. Like they either both are getting the baby or they're not. And I'm not sure
Okay.
that I don't necessarily agree with that, but I'm just saying that's how it's kind of set up. But by the time if she gets pregnant and she goes through the gestation and she consents to give the birth and then she consents to keep the baby, then she is considered to have agreed to paternal obligations.
Okay. So no one should be able to harm another human being.
I don't agree with that.
Ooh, did you hear what she just said?
If you can kill this motherfucker.
Okay?
I don't agree with that.
Like an innocent human being, what I mean. So no one should be able to harm an innocent human being for.
I think we're going to have a difference of opinion on what constitutes innocent,
Ooh, did you hear that again?
If you can kill this motherfucker.
but let's go ahead.
What would you say what innocent is?
That you're not infringing on someone else in a way that violates their basic rights.
I guess she never dated a female.
And if I'm wrong, then perhaps we're wrong.
Okay.
So if I'm violating your body and you have not consented, I would say I'm not innocent.
Okay. Let's go with this then. So how about this? When you have intercourse, you already committing to having a child. Like
No, you're not.
I mean, y'all just thought you knew a few whores, but you wouldn't know whores like I would be whoring. I'd be a whole new kind of whore on a different level. Correct.
No, you're not. No, you're not. That's like
No.
saying that when you drive a car, you're committing to have a car accident.
No.
You're not.
Okay.
You run you run the risk of perhaps conceiving, but that is not true.
Y'all heard what Bubba said?
Right, because here's the thing. Sex is sex, right? And conception is conception. Those are two different things. Do you agree that a person can try to conceive and not successfully conceive? Right? There are people who go and get pregnant at a clinic. Yeah. Okay, so sex and conception are two separate events.
Oh, hold on. Let me. Whoa. You know what? I'm gonna use that next time I get pulled over. When the cop is like, "Hey, here's a ticket," and I'm like, "Whoa, what I get a ticket for?" He gonna say, "Well, you driving drunk." I said, "Whoa." When I decided to drive drunk, I did not give my consent to getting a ticket. He's gonna look at me like I'm stupid. Yeah, but that's just me.
Okay.
Right?
I see that. But this one though, so isn't pregnancy or isn't intercourse naturally ordered towards human life? Isn't that naturally like the?
I don't know what you mean by that. I don't know what you mean by that.
And the sperm and egg meet is going to be just going to be human being right there.
No, I don't know what you mean by that. No, we don't. What I'm saying is that doesn't always occur, right?
It doesn't always occur, but
it doesn't even often occur. It doesn't happen even often, right? So human beings.
I'm just saying that the fact that it even does.
Yes, it can happen, just like a car accident can happen.
Just like I can drive drunk and not get a ticket, because I didn't want a ticket, I just wanted to drive drunk. But then when I got stopped and got a ticket, I should be able to have the argument like, look, just because I decided to drive drunk didn't mean I wanted to get a ticket. So you need to go on and take that ticket back. So I'm just going to rip this ticket up, okay? Cool. Yeah. All right. We'll find it. Well, cool. All right. Be on your merry way.
Yeah.
All right. But I don't think that it's a natural order of driving to have a car accident, just because we know that a certain percentage of people are going to have an accident.
Yes. Like she said, driving drunk and getting a ticket for it are two different things. Don't you wish a guy could say that?
What I'm saying is that if you want to look at why people have sex,
Girls want it too.
there's a few things to consider. Number one, we are not very fertile.
Tell the people who got pregnant on one night stand. Yeah, it just mattered. Didn't even know her name. Or the girls are like, I don't even know his name. Just hooked up. Yeah. Tell them that.
So you look at something like a salmon. It has sex like once, and it has like a bajillion offspring. That's a really successful reproducer. Some animals, they go into heat. Right? So you'll have an animal that, for example, the female will have a certain period where she presents as fertile. And she lets this be known, not necessarily consciously, but her body will put out scent, will, go into heat, start to bleed. Like, she will do things. Sometimes the vulva will expand, and so this is a way to signal, hey, I am fertile.
All right, I got to cut her off here because I know what she's going to say, just really quick. She's going to start to compare, like, humans to animals. And she's going to say, well, we're not like animals. And she's going to come up with all these different comparisons of how we don't do things that animals do. But, there's a little foreshadowing. Later on, she's going to try to... But, see, that's her argument. We're not like animals. But, towards the end of the video, she's going to pick a certain animal and try to make that help her argument. Okay. I don't know if I explained that, but hopefully y'all catch it. If you don't, like I said, say something. Say something.
Human beings don't do this, right? So human females, if it weren't for modern science, we really don't know. Human females would not know just sort of consciously that, hey, I am now, ovulating, and it's time for... So we don't know that, and we also have no way of signaling men.
Simple body language.
No way of signaling men.
Natural hip swing when you walk.
That's how I'm a second baby.
smile with your eyes.
Of signaling men.
Touching your hair gently.
That, hey, it's time for me to reproduce, so I'm really looking for sex.
I am going to show you an example of somebody who doesn't have that natural hip swing, which is something we don't want to have. That is more of a masculine walk. If you, on the other hand, have too much attitude, and you're there and you're sitting and somehow,
So the question becomes, why do people have sex, right? So why are we having sex if we're getting further and further from this idea?
Now, if you don't want to have a baby, that's the perfect way not to have a baby. Just saying. I don't think she has to worry about it.
You know what I mean, ladies? Then you're definitely not going to attract him because you are having this more aggressive tone in your language, more masculine. You are going to put him off, and nobody wants to approach a woman who looks aggressive.
Idea of it being coupled to reproduction.
And they should know that we're horned up, right? Yes. I'm so sick of this narrative that only guys can be horny, like girls want it too.
Hey, I'll take some D.
I would love some D, please.
One for me, so.
2 for me.
Look like she can take about 4 or 5 of them on the real.
Yeah.
So for people, we're more of a social sexual animal. And there are other species that are like this, right? So there's bonobos.
Now, what did I tell you? She was using animals for her argument, saying we're not like them, but now she turns around and picks a certain species to try to use it to win her argument, and she got to pick one or, either this or either that, yeah, she's just trying to be like really slick about it.
I do. We do.
We will.
All of it.
You're coming across quite a bit intense. Ladies?
And they are rampant with sex, right? They are like a type of animal that looks like a chimpanzee, and they are having lots and lots of sex, and they seem to have sex as a stress release.
Look, if you want to fuck, just fuck, dude. I don't understand. Just don't. All right, I went a little off on that one. How come she can't just say, I like to have sex with random dudes, I like to have as much sex as I want, I just don't want to have a baby? See, my thing is, instead of having, your choice should be not if I should or should not kill the baby. Your choice should be like, should or should I not get pregnant? That should be the choice.
Like girls want it too.
Hey, I'll take some D.
I would love some D, please.
1 for me, so.
2 for me.
People have sort of bonding as well, right? So human beings bond a lot. We have sex a lot. Our models of sexuality, I'm not convinced in the West, are necessarily aligned to what people would do if they weren't so socialized to particular models, right? So for example, you have estimates that can show anywhere of upwards of like 70% of men who say, I would have sex with somebody else if I thought that it wouldn't cause a problem outside my marriage.
They don't want to get divorced. They don't want to lose their kids. They don't want the woman to have half their money.
Right? And women at similar rates, like up in the 60s, I would have sex with other people.
That's because they don't want to lose their meal ticket.
This is your sign to go be a hoe, okay? It's hoe summer, hoe it up, do it up, and if you need any advice from a former hoe, hit a hoe up.
People are sort of geared towards sexuality, but we're not necessarily geared toward that being for procreation. Now, I do agree with you that yes, we do reproduce sexually. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, that's the wildest idea I've ever heard. I don't know what you mean by that. It's like, no, clearly we are a species that reproduces sexually. But it's not really the primary, it doesn't seem to be if it is the primary goal of our sexuality, we're not very good at it.
Right.
Yeah.
But do you know what is the primary goal of it?
It seems to be social.
So the next time your woman gets mad at you because you banging the chick next door, show her this video. Hey, I'm just being social.
Right? We seem to be sexual social animals, that we bond and sort of, it's part of our bonding.
Physical,
yeah, and bonobo.
You're coming across quite a bit intense.
I would disagree with that though. Why? Because we can only have intercourse with we don't have intercourse with family, right? We don't have intercourse with our children, you know, like things like that. We only have intercourse with people we want to reproduce with.
Right, but you don't really need bonds, I guess, within your family, right? So sexuality is more about pleasure.
And they should know that we're horned up.
It's more about sharing an experience with somebody for most of us. I mean, most of us, for example, are selective.
Okay.
Right? You're right that we don't do that with family, but family you kind of have a bond with. The whole point...
But that's what I'm saying, it can't... So, yeah, go ahead. Okay.
The point of social species is that it's very important to make bonds with people outside your family. If you didn't, and you did start inbreeding with your family, that would start making chromosomal problems.
Correct.
And the other issue is... that we have to make a bigger society. Right? Which requires that we reach out in other ways to groups, to other family groups.
That doesn't mean you have to fuck them. There's people who build relationships off of just like things, like co-workers, hobbies. Like everybody who meets somebody who forms a connection doesn't mean you have to have sex with them. You know, and if this, I don't want to say what she's trying to say, but my argument is like you don't have to have sex with everyone to bond with them. And if that's the argument, if that's the basis, like, well, I want to have sex with them so I can bond with them so we can become better, you can't get mad at a guy because he's bonded with everyone. That's a good guy, okay? Just remember that.
So people, though, as societies, we reach out to larger groups than our immediate family, right? When you look, even small groups, even small communal, like Amazon groups, indigenous natives in the Amazon, even though they're small groups, they're still mixed up. They're not like just immediate family.
Ooh, don't let her be your neighbors, ladies, because she's straight gonna screw your husband.
And so this is a way to make bonds outside of your immediate family.
She's just being a good neighbor.
But you don't need mating to bond with your kids, is what I'm saying.
Right.
Yeah, but that's the thing.
But I do need it to bond with somebody I don't know.
Talk about, hey, can I borrow your hoe?
Right? So somebody outside my family, if I'm going to bond with them, sex is one good way to do it.
But for love to blossom in the first place, you need to build a sexual attraction before you make him fall in love with you. It's the safest way to make sure the guy falls for you and stays in love with you.
Right.
Build relationships with people other than your family.
Yeah, and I mean, for example, if somebody's not fertile, we don't say, oh, there's no point having sex with them.
Fall in love with you.
Right? And people who are gay are just like, they have sex with each other.
Fall in love with you.
Right? And, you know, there's all kinds of combinations. And maybe do some research, right? Look at like social, sexual social animals like bonobos.
Phone my phone. This is my. If you want, hello. This is my. This my phone. Phone my phone. Doggy. Phone me home. Phone home my home. Doggy one phone.
And human sexuality and bonobo sexuality, and see what some people have to say about those similarities, and what the arguments are for, human sexuality being so unfertile, and some of the evolutionary explanations for that, and just see what you think.
Clearly, he doesn't want a confident woman.
Exactly, and that's the patriarchy.
That's the patriarchy.
Exactly.
So this is for all of my single, over 30 people. Is anybody else just over this hookup culture?
And that's pretty much the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was thought-sparking. I didn't make this video to say one way is right, one way is wrong. It's just, you gotta look at things from both sides of the coin. And whatever you think, let me know. I'll be more than happy to communicate with you, debate with you, and conversate with you. And if you got an opinion, say it. But I'm not saying she has a hidden agenda, but she's not truly being honest about what she really wants to say. Especially the whole part about like, hey, the best way we can get with people is to have sex. And I don't know, dude. A lot of people use sex for a lot of different reasons. And it's not for bonding. It's for a whole different set of things. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank y'all for hanging out with me. Thanks for drinking with me. And I'll see you on the flip side. You have a good one. Peace.